New pound-for-pound rankings. Ilia Topuria is now ranked number 1 in the pound-for-pound rankings. He moved up 2 spots. Overtakes Islam Makhachev's position, who's now ranked number 2. Merab is 3, 4 DDP, 5 Pantoja. Pantoja moved up 4 spots after his win over the weekend over Kaikar, France. Maybe Makhachev, if he beats JDM in his next fight, wins a belt in a weight class above. Maybe he becomes number 1 then, but for the time being, it is now Topuria, number 1 pound-for-pound. Also, another change in the rankings is in the flyweight division. Very rarely do you ever see a guy move up 11 spots in the rankings, but that happened over the weekend because Joshua Van beat Brandon Royval. He moved up 11 spots, so now it's Van, Moreno, Royval as the top 3. Van gets a title shot at the age of 23. And in the lightweight division, it looks a little different now. Topuria, the champ, Makhachev, number 1. Then Tsarukyan, Oliveira, Gaethje, and Holloway. As far as who's next for Topuria, Tsarukyan deserves a shot in many people's opinion. Paddy's asking for it. Topuria also called out Paddy, but Paddy is apparently fighting Gaethje in August, so maybe the winner of that fight gets the next shot.
If I'm the UFC and my only goal is to make Topuria the face of the UFC and build his star and sell out stadiums and sell fucking merch and, get this new TV rights deal and get as much eyeballs as possible, you do Paddy Topuria, you Justin Gaethje Topuria, and then Tsarukyan's last. Paddy Topuria's the motherfucking fight. No brainer. Strike with iron's hot, make as much money as possible, the most views possible. If you're the UFC though, and you do Paddy Topuria, it's a win-win, dude. It's a sold-out fucking giant stadium, Europe somewhere, or Spain, whatever the fuck you want to do. Put it in Spain, put it in the UK, whatever you want to do. It's selling out. We're getting a huge fan base on it. Topuria wins, cool. Build his star higher. We got the next guy, Justin Gaethje, waiting for him, Tsarukyan. Keep building him up. If Paddy wins, you got another. And let's say it's a back-and-forth fight. You're just doing a rematch, making money. Who knows how long this goes?
Arman Tsarukyan says that Topuria is running from the real contender. Only proves one thing: you're scared. Deep down, you know exactly what happens if you ever step in there with me, Ilia Topuria. Tsarukyan would have to take the fight to the ground and hold Topuria down. Standing up, Topuria has a decent shot to get a KO. Arman Tsarukyan versus Ilia Topuria could be 2 rich guys fighting for the UFC title. Arman Tsarukyan getting wealth from his dad, and Ilia Topuria apparently getting wealth through his wife's family.
So when I talked to Ilia, I was talking to him about his $2 million gym that he has in his house, and I go, well, man, now you might have money now after these 2 wins. But before, I'm like, how do you have so much money? Come to find out, Ilia got family money. Ilia's rich. Hey, Ilia's got family money. And then Tsarukyan, I saw Tsarukyan just housing $1,000 a bite of caviar. He's just housing like caviar. Like, Arman's like rich. Could you imagine 2 rich dudes fighting for a UFC title? Like 2 rich dudes that didn't get their money in fighting would be the craziest thing because rich dudes don't fight.
Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson doesn't see Ilia Topuria fighting that much longer. Well, last year, Topuria was talking about retiring when he was 30, which is a couple of years from now.
I think he's a unicorn. Like, I think you're going to see him 3 or 4 more times, maybe 5 max, and he's going to disappear. He's like, I'm done. Undefeated. He could be a potential Khabib. Someone who just leaves the sport. It's like, I'm done. Don't need to prove anything. I won the belt at 45, 55, and shit, potentially, he could fight at 172.
Khabib ended his career 29-0. Ilia Topuria 17-0 when Khabib was 17-0. He became 17-0 when he beat Gleison Tibau, won a unanimous decision. Every judge gave every round to Khabib, but it was a close fight. 5 of the 6 media scores had Tibau winning that fight, and 4 of them had a 30-27 Tibau, which gives you an indication of how close the rounds were. UFC officially announces they're going back to Abu Dhabi Saturday, October 25th. That's for UFC 321. Some people want to see Makhachev versus JDM on that card as the main event.
Is he a fight fan?
No, he's not a fight fan.
Wow. So how did he stumble upon you? Like, how did you get on his radar?
I don't know. The universe just connects people. It has a weird way with the strings.
Blake Builder says he did mushrooms before his Contender Series fight, which he won, and he did acid before one of his UFC fights against, I believe, Kyle Nelson, which he lost. He's no longer with the UFC. He was removed from the roster in October.
I would take mushrooms before some of my fights. One Dana White's Contender Series, took like a little microdose before the fight, and boom, calmed me right down. My mistake was thinking like, okay, it worked really good with mushrooms. I was like, I'm going to do it with acid. Oh. I walk out, get out there, doing great the first round until like the last 10 seconds. He throws a looping overhand. Oof, hits my shit. My vision goes this big. And I could see my vision opening up. And I was like, am I about to get knocked the fuck out? That's kind of like how the rest of the fight went.
Former UFC heavyweight Ian Freeman's daughter, Kennedy Freeman, making her UFC debut at UFC Paris on September 6th. She's taking on Yanesi Dubin. Dubin 6-1. Freeman is 6-0. Dubin won on the Contender Series by KO, but then got KO'd in her UFC debut against Carly Judas. Pantoja is in the top 5 pound for pound now, moved up 4 spots after his win over the weekend, garnering more respect as a champion. Now he has 5 belts he's earned from the UFC, 1 for winning the championship for the first time, and 4 title defenses. So every time he goes in there, he looks at it like he's winning a new belt. That's his mentality. And his mentality going into this next fight against Joshua Van is that he is his toughest challenge yet. So he'll be well prepared. He wants to fight in December in Las Vegas for the final pay-per-view of the year. Tracy Cortez moved up 2 spots after her win over Viviane Araújo over the weekend. Araújo dropped 2 spots. Cortez wants to either rematch Rose Namajunas or take on Alexa Grasso. The Rose rematch doesn't really make sense, but the Grasso fight will be a fresh matchup. The UFC Noche card September in San Antonio is what Cortez is aiming for. Khamzat Chimaev arrives in Los Angeles, ending speculation that he can't enter the United States. He will be fighting in the United States August 16th, UFC 319 main event against DDP. Khamzat will look to take the fight to the floor early and get a first-round submission, so DDP's takedown D, submission D, and ability to get back up will be tested multiple times in the first round, and if it goes past round 1, Khamzat's cardio will be tested as well. Assalamu alaikum.